Namaskar, dear students. Prayers to Ma Sharda. We are discussing applications of Gauss's law. In last lecture, we discussed electric field produced by continuous charge distribution on a line of infinite length. Okay? Actually, Gauss's law is a very important tool to find electric field produced by continuous charge distribution. Okay, today we are going to discuss the second application of Gauss's law. Okay, but let us recall what was the mathematical expression of Gauss's law. Okay, so we know that it is about flux. And we know what is flux? It is total number of electric field lines. Okay? Flux equals to surface integration on a closed surface, and that closed surface is called Gaussian surface, and it was equal to sigma q upon epsilon naught in the statement. What was sigma q in the statement? It is net charge enclosed, okay, and net charge means algebraic sum. Okay, so this was Gauss's law. Okay, so we are now going to discuss the second application of Gauss's law, and that is field due to a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Uniformly charged. It is not necessary that it is always uniformly charged, but we will consider uniformly charged for simplicity. Okay, so this is the infinite plane sheet. This is the infinite plane sheet. Okay, it is like this. Okay, and it is positively charged. That we have not drawn to avoid complication in the figure. This type of, and this is of infinite area. This is of infinite area, but we have drawn a small fraction of it. Okay, so it is positively charged. Okay, now they have given that it is uniformly charged, so we can assume surface charge density, okay, as sigma, and it has fixed value in the total area everywhere at every point. Okay, and here we are considering positive charge. Normally, positive charge is considered because it has more stability compared to negative charge. Okay, I am cancelling this positive charge. Okay, here now in from figure. Okay, it is filled with positive charge, but we cannot draw in figure because it will be very complicated otherwise. Okay, but keep in mind that this plane sheet is having infinite area and it is filled with positive charge. Okay, having charge density, surface charge density sigma. This is the first part of the problem. Okay, we are discussing. Now, first of all, I will have to draw a Gaussian surface. Okay, Gaussian surface means a surface enclosing this infinite plane sheet, which is not possible here. So we will consider a small fraction of the infinite plane, and this is the Gaussian surface. Okay, enclosing this part of the infinite plane sheet. Okay, see what is the shape? What is the shape of the Gaussian surface? It is rectangular parallel part. Okay, now see, this is positive charge. Okay, so if I want to find electric field here, okay, that means I have to put unit positive charge here. So positive will offer repulsive force. So here electric field will be in this direction. I have given this surface as name 2. Okay, so it is surface 2. Electric field here is vector E2. Okay, and let us assume that area of this is delta S2. Okay, area. See, this Gaussian surface is like this, and the plane we considered is here. Okay, this is surface 2 for us. Surface 2 has surface area delta S2. Okay, and electric field is in the same direction, vector E2. Okay, now consider this surface. Okay, it is surface 1 for us. So its area is in this direction, area vector delta vector S1. Okay, and electric field will also be in the same direction, because if I put here a unit positive charge, this positive charge will offer repulsive force. So electric field is even, area of this is delta vector S1. Okay, now there may be a question in your mind that why I am not considering the other four sides. That I will discuss afterwards. Okay, first of all let us consider these two surfaces. Okay, now sigma, that is surface charge density, equals to charge upon area. Okay, let us charge here in this fraction of the infinite plane sheet. Inside this charge is sigma q, let us assume. Okay, and area of this is capital A. Then sigma q will be equal to sigma into capital A. Okay, now flux here, okay, phi 1, that is E1 dot delta S1. But see, E1 and delta S1 are in same direction, so angle is 0. So E1 delta S1 cos 0, cos 0 is 1. So flux 1 equals to E1 into delta S1. Now let us find flux 2. Then phi 2 equals to vector E2 dot delta vector S2. Again they are in same direction, so E2 delta S2 cos 0, so that is E2 delta S2. But we know that E1 and E2 are equal from symmetric distribution. Okay, so E1 equals to E2 equals to E, and we know that area of these and these are same as far as magnitudes are concerned. So delta S1 equals to delta S2 equals to capital A. Putting value, so total flux will be equal to flux 1 plus flux 2. Flux 1 is E1 delta S1, but that is now EA. Similarly, flux 2 is also EA. So net flux will be equal to 2EA. Okay, but according to Gauss's law, phi equals to sigma q upon epsilon naught. Sigma q is enclosed charge, and that was equals to sigma into A. So phi equals to sigma A upon epsilon naught. Comparing these two equations, okay, so 2EA will be equal to sigma A upon epsilon naught, but AA will be cancelled. So A will be equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. Okay, and what is the direction? It is in this direction or in this direction. Okay, here it is this direction. It is this direction is perpendicular to the plane. So n cap is the unit vector perpendicular to the plane. Perpendicular to the plane. Okay. Here n cap is in this direction. Here n cap is in this direction. We have considered these axes as x, these as y, these as z. Okay. Normally, axes are denoted by capital letters because coordinates are denoted by small letters. But in your textbook, they have considered axes as small letters. So this is small x, this is small y, this is small z. Okay. So finally, vector E equals to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught into n cap. N cap is the unit vector perpendicular to the surface. Okay. Here, see, E does not depend on x. In equation of E, there is no x. So E does not depend on distance. Does not depend on distance x. Okay. We have considered surface 2 at distance x here, surface 1 at distance x here. But x has no role in the equation because it is infinite plane sheet. Okay, see the magic. For anything which is infinite, it does not depend on distance. Okay, now see here, you must be thinking that why I have not considered the other four sides. Okay, I will explain you. See, our E is in this direction. This is our E. Okay, this is our E. Now, for upper side, upper surface, area vector will be this direction. What will be the angle between those two? 90 degree. In that case, what will be flux linked with upper side? Okay, it will be equal to E delta S cos 90. So E delta S into 0, that will be 0. So flux linked with upper side, okay, this side is 0. Similarly, flux linked with lower side also will be 0 because its area vector will be in downward direction. Okay. Now what will be flux linked with this surface towards you? Okay, towards you. Its area vector will be in this direction. Again, E and delta S are perpendicular. Again, flux linked with this surface is 0. Similarly, flux linked with this backside is also 0. So we need not to consider all other 4 sides. Okay. So finally the equation is vector E equals to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught into n cap. Prepare well. Bye.